The Achaemenid Empire at its greatest extent was larger in area than the Roman Empire at its greatest extent. Given that the various Persian empires ruled over the whole of Western Asia for about a millennium or even more, what can we say about their impact on West Asian cultures? Excellent question. So, yes, the Persian Empire, the Achaemenish Empire, uh, it conquered. Let's once again go to the map. It conquered various. I mean, the whole of what we call the Middle East or West Asia today. So it starts from the borders of India. There is the borders, present borders of Afghanistan and Pakistan. And you go westwards, you have Persia, and they conquered, well, essentially everything. They conquered all the way to Anatolia, uh, present day Iraq, Syria, the whole of Mesopotamia, most of Arabia, I suppose, and also Egypt. Egypt was also a vassal and of the Achaemenid Empire, of the Persian Empire. And also in the Caucasus region, you had their presence. So, and overall, it was a vast empire, the Persian Empire. You rightly say it was larger in extent, in geographical extent, than the Roman Empire at its greatest extent. That's how large the Achaemenid Empire of Persia was. It was a very vigorous, geopolitically vigorous empire, an expansionist empire, always expanding westwards, westwards, westwards. And they fought the Romans eventually, right? And they had pretty good success against the Romans as well. So that was the deal of the Persian Empire, the Achaemenid Empire. So obviously they're going to have some cultural influence. They would have had a great amount of cultural influence and impact uh, over West Asia, but that has all been erased. Today you don't see that. You see some remnants of that here and there. For example, in Persia, in Iran today, you still have some small scattered Jewish communities, small numbers of Jews here and there. How did the Jews end up in Persia? Well, the Persians, they liberated the Jews from, what was it, Assyrian occupation, and they allowed the Jews to retake Jerusalem and build the second temple there, which was eventually destroyed by the Romans. Okay, and that's a whole different story. And as a consequence, the Jews who were in exile were able to go back to Judea, to present day Israel. And some Jews eventually ended up in Persia, because Persia was a very welcoming civilization, just like we used to be, just like we still are. The Persians are also just like us. So Jews were welcomed in Persia, and some of them settled down in various parts of Persia, and they also continued practicing their religion. So the Persian Empire was a very, the Western term is tolerant, religiously tolerant. They were obviously, eventually they became Zoroastrians, but they allowed all their conquered peoples to continue practicing whatever cultures and religions they had. So it was a very, from a Western perspective, tolerant empire. The the more appropriate term would be respectful of other people's cultures, not tolerant but respectful. But that's something the West doesn't understand. They don't understand respectful, they understand tolerant. I'm going to tolerate you. That sort of thing. So anyway, the Persian culture would have spread far and wide across West Asia, but all of it was wiped out eventually by the rise and spread of the religion of that came out of Arabia, right? In the which 6th, 7th century AD, whatever, Islam I'm talking about, right? And there's nothing left of whatever uh, cultural or civilizational impact Persia would have had on West Asia. Nothing that I can see. Yeah. So all of that was wiped out. And of course, Persia was destroyed by Alexander. So all the Persian records of what they did, what they achieved, and all of that, that also was destroyed by Alexander. So there's nothing much left that can tell us about the specific set of impacts Persia would have had on West Asia. Also Egypt.